Ladies and gentlemen, look into my eyes, or even better yet, look at my beard right about now. Yes, I am the Movember version of Matt Carter. I'll be breaking this beard and mustache down along with my bearded musical guests, Mike Sharratt and Anatol McGinnis. We'll have some Movember talk with them and great music later on in the show. Also on episode 40 of the show here on Shaw TV, we're gonna go drinking, yahoo! But of course in a very classy way. And Bosa will be speaking with Susie Sirri of the Grand Hotel about some special beverages for the holiday season. Off camera, I will try to drink them when no one's noticing. Of course, however, when you drink, don't drive. There's just no excuses whatsoever. So we're going to talk with Brian Sugiyama about a great program to get you and your car safely home called Operation Red Nose. Well, Brian will tell you what it's all about and how it raises funds for a good cause. Turning our attention to the city of Nanaimo, Anna Bosa will be back to talk to Karen Lyndsay, Nanaimo's Emergency Program Manager, about Nanaimo's emergency call alert and earthquake preparedness. Ian Holmes will speak with Sasha Angus, the CEO of the Nanaimo Economic Development Corporation. Tune in to find out if it's a good time to invest in the city of Nanaimo. We're also going to look at the theme of accessibility here in Nanaimo with Bob Fenty talking to Christina Young from the Nanaimo Disability Resource Centre. Holiday parties, I'm here to tell you, is much more about Christmas food such as turkey and mashed potatoes. And we have VIU Culinary Arts instructor Jason Lloyd here to show us some fancy gourmet appetizers, including some gourmet seafood. Again, we'll also take a look at what a food stylist does. But first, Bob Fenty is going to start us off with a segment on the Nanaimo Lions Club, which is not to be confused with the BC Lions Football Club, and the Nanaimo Lions Club is getting a lot more TV time right about now. So let's get going, let's kick it off. It's the show, and it's right here on Shaw TV.
Dodd's Furniture's The Show is brought to you by Dodd's Furniture and Mattress. Now open in Nanaimo.
Well, here we are back at the Rotary segment today, but actually we're not going to talk about Rotary today. We're going to go into the realm of the Lions Club. And please welcome with me today is LARRIE Taylor, who's the president of the Nanaimo
Lions Club.
I almost said Rotary, sorry. And Al Brett, who's the first vice president. Welcome, LARRIE and Al, to the show.
Thank you.
And LARRIE, similar to Rotary, your mission is?
We serve.
To serve.
Yes,
and it's just,
service is our primary purpose.
Just like Rotary.
Yeah.
And how many members do you have in your club here,
We have
LARRIE?
33.
33. That's, yeah, good stock of members. And you do a lot of good in our community as well. Al, there's a large number of Rotarian Lions. See, I'm in this Rotary segment. I got to get out of that segment. A large number of Lions in our province and in the area, and 19I, I understand, is where your particular group is.
Yes, our club is a member of the District 19I of Lions International, so we're one of the districts, and our district is 19.
And how many are in that
There's
area?
About 1,400 members.
Wow, good representation. And you got a lot of clubs worldwide as well, don't you?
We do. There's 43,000 clubs
Wow.
in our international organization, and we're in 207 countries
busy
and territories.
Lions people. LARRIE, some of the projects that your club has been involved in the Nanaimo area, there's a lot of them I've listed. The women's shelter thing is one in particular. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we have a 26-unit housing project. It's about 20 years old. It was developed with the support of BC Housing, and we manage it. We have a special society to run the project, and we hire a property manager and a maintenance manager.
So how many, this is for low-income moms?
Basically low-income single moms.
Moms?
It's 26 units.
And, okay, there we are. And there's another area down at Bowen Park, the duck pond and the animal farm.
Yeah, those are projects that were done in the past. This club we've been in existence since 1946, so we have a long history of contributing.
Along with that great bridge that you guys did a tremendous job, and Al was involved in that.
Well, he was the chair.
So Al, your club raises a lot of money throughout the year. Tell us a little bit about how you do that.
Well, for years we've had bingo as one of our fundraisers, and which now is covered by gaming, so we're still raising quite a bit of our funds through that way. We have 2 flea markets a year at Bevan Park, and coming up very soon, as soon as Christmas is over, we have a tree mulching project we had Nanaimo North Port Centre.
That works really well for you, doesn't it?
And it does work. It does work really well.
And I noticed there's another one that you do, and I think it sounds like it'd be a lot of fun, is dumpster diving?
It's got kind of the nickname of dumpster diving, but it started out as a small project when one of our members thought we could raise a little bit of money by gathering the bottles from
out of the dumpsters,
and primarily from the restaurants around town.
And it works really well.
And it works really well. Yeah. And there's a number of restaurants now that have us as their primary donation for the bottles.
Wonderful.
And it's a lot of work. We get a lot out working.
Another big project that I know you guys are involved in, and LARRIE, tell us very quickly about this skate program at Bevan Park.
This is, well, it's at the Nanaimo Ice Centre.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is a project we just started this year, and we have to acknowledge we cribbed it from another Lions club, but it's a free family skate sponsored by the Lions, Save On Foods, and the City of Nanaimo Recreation Centre, and we provide free skating, free skates if they don't have skates, and we're averaging over 200 people each session. We've had 10 sessions, and we've had 2,140 people out.
Wow. And this is going to be ongoing for how long?
Till the end of March.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It takes about 3 or 4 of us each time, and we have other sponsors too, but the main ones are the ones I mentioned.
So it's a great job that you guys are doing, LARRIE, and I can see you're really heavily involved in our community, and a lot of great things that the Lions Club are doing. And please, I'm sorry we're out of time. You believe it or not, that's 5 minutes gone really quick. But so please pass on our regards to your club and your club members to continue doing the great work that you do in our community. And now let's go over to Anna, and she's going to play with some spirits, the alcoholic kind. Anna?
Thank you so much, Bob. I really appreciate it. We're here today with Susie Sirri, and she is the Director of Operations for the Grand Hotel. But more importantly than that, tonight she is here to tell us all about whiskey and scotch and bourbon and all that yummy stuff to celebrate our holiday and Christmas season. Welcome.
Thank you. Well,
now, I guess my first question is, what is the difference between whiskey and scotch? Is there a difference?
Well, on a technical, it's a technical difference. Scotch is pretty much made in Scotland. Whiskey is everywhere else. So that's the difference. Bourbons are made with corn. Scotches and whiskeys are made with barley.
Okay, so they're different ingredients, so to speak.
That's right.
Right,
yeah,
okay.
That's right. So when you said there's a holiday segment, I said, what better way than to talk about whiskey? We've only got, I don't know, I think we're at 120 now.
Is that how many you have at the
Grand?
Really?
We stopped counting after 105.
That's an awful lot of, All I can smell is you have this beautiful smell. It smells wonderful.
Each whiskey profile is very different. And I thought today we could I'd just do a quick feature of to showcase some of the different ones. So on the far end here, those ones are actually from Australia, Sullivan's Cove.
Wow. Okay.
And some really beautiful award-winning ones. Then we have here Japan. We've got the Nika.
Japan makes?
Japan. This one is a blended whiskey versus a single, yes. And the Nika 21 is actually the #1 blended whiskey out in the world right now. So I thought that would be a nice feature.
Is really great.
And if you had a quick smell of this one, which is
yeah, I guess the smell is good.
Every smell is different. Smell that. What are you getting on that? Do you want to pour it on your pancakes? Doesn't it smell like maple syrup?
It does. It's sweet.
It's very sweet
Delicious.
on the nose. So the palate's a little bit different, but again, this is #1 whiskey for a blend in the world right now. Then we go into India. Here, this is a beautiful single.
Worldwide.
Exactly.
Welcome to the world.
I know. The Fusion from Amrit is the #3 single malt in the world. It's won loads of awards.
Wonderful.
So yeah.
Now, we will be coming back.
Yeah.
And I would love to sample some after.
Yes, perfect.
Not right now. But right now, what we're going to do, since we're doing a little drinking segment, we're also going to be doing a little bit of a safe driving segment, so to speak. We're going to go to Brian.
Thanks, Anna. You want to get home after you've had those drinks or had gone to a party or gone to a club. And I have with me today RHONDA IRVING, who is the coordinator with the Operation Red Nose program under the umbrella of Pacific Sport Vancouver Island. Welcome, Rhonda.
Thank you.
Can you tell me a little bit about Red Nose and where it all started?
Red Nose actually started back in 1984 in Quebec. There was a professor at Laval University who was also a swim coach, and they were looking for a way to raise funds to help the athletes in the program, and noticed that the statistics were quite bad for drinking and driving back then, and so he thought of this idea of Operation Red Nose. So it started back in 1984. It's been a long time.
And the concept is to get people home safely
Yes.
with their own cars. Can you explain how you do that?
Well, it's an alternative to drinking and driving. So if you want to go to a party, if you're going to a house party, you want to go to a pub, something like that, and you want to take your vehicle with you, but you're not feeling safe to drive home afterwards, you give us a call, and we work in teams of 3. You give us a call, we come out and we pick you and your car up, we drive you home, and there's a navigator in the car that can sort of help the driver find their way and keep the passengers company as well. And then there's an escort vehicle that follows along behind. Once the people get to their destination, the escort driver picks up the other 2 team members, and they drive to the next location to pick up the next client.
So there's really no charge, but you accept donations.
Yes, it's a free service, it's confidential. We don't charge for it, but we are grateful for any donations that we get because they go towards the programs that Pacific Sport funds for the athletes in the local area.
For those who don't know, what kind of activities is Pacific Sport involved in generally right now?
Well, Pacific Sport looks after 2 levels, either the elite athletes in the area, and they also do grassroots community for youth, and those are programs that are geared towards physical literacy and education and health in general for younger people, and also they offer sport camps for children that are under 12 years of age in the summertime as well.
So really the funds go to a very noble source, but the biggest thing is people get back home, and what you have is you have a way where people can call once they're at a site and they need to get home, and this service runs on which days?
It starts on November 30th, and we run every Friday and Saturday night. Starts at 9 o'clock, runs till 3 o'clock in the morning, and you just call our hotline number, which is 755-6969. And I generally suggest you give us about 20 or 30 minutes before you're expecting to leave, before you give us a call, and then we'll come out and pick you up and take you wherever you want to go. If you've got passengers that need to be dropped off along the way, we can also do that as well.
So it's a way to get a group of friends home and get your car home too.
Get your car home safe, yeah. And the program's all run by volunteers, so everyone that's the designated driver and the escort and all the people that run Operation Red Nose are volunteers. And every year we get a lot of volunteers come back to us who've been with us for several years. They have a lot of fun doing it, so they want to come back and do it every year. But we're also looking for new volunteers. So if anyone's interested in being a driver or a navigator, helping out with Operation Red Nose, we'd love to hear from those people as well.
You always need those volunteers to come forward to keep the program going.
Yes, we can always use more volunteers. I would never say no to anybody.
Now, this is used quite a bit. It's been in existence in Nanaimo for quite a number of years, since you say
1984 when it started nationally, but it's in Nanaimo here for 17 years. This is the 17th year that we've offered the service here in Nanaimo.
And always looking for volunteers. The program is based here in Nanaimo out of the Pacific Sport Office. Again, what's the number to call for volunteering or for getting your ride home?
To get a ride home or to volunteer, you call 755-6969.
Well, that's some excellent information, a way to get you home and to do it safely. Yes. When you imbibe throughout the holidays, you don't have to have any concern about drinking and driving. So that's great. Thank you again, Rhonda.
Thank you.
And I'll turn it over to Mike, excuse me, Mike Sharratt, in Anatol, I've got to just get the name here, Anatol McGinnis, who are going to sing a song about Nanaimo called Nearly Gone.
That was awesome, and Matt, excellent job. I didn't know you played. That's really, really great. We're here today with Karen Lyndsay, and she is the Emergency Program Manager for the City of Nanaimo. And with the recent earthquakes that we've had here in the city, I thought it'd be a great idea to have her on our show and tell us a little bit more about how to prepare for such an emergency. Welcome.
Thank you very much for having me. Absolutely, we've had a few recent events and a little too close to home. And I think after our last experience where they had the earthquake in Japan, it created a lot of awareness amongst our residents here. We're seeing a little bit of that since the Haida Gwaii one, and what we're encouraging people to do is to take that opportunity to either check the kits that they have in their home, or if they haven't done that, to make one.
Yeah, and that's a big thing, because I know kits are really, really important.
They are, and they're very, very simple to make. They're a lot of what you need is in your home. Now, I have brought some pre-made kits that you can also purchase online or through various local outlets, local stores. But they're very simple. We encourage people to get things ready for 72 hours at a minimum, but realistically, we are looking at 7 days where you need to have food water, and basic supplies.
Yeah, because I guess we need to have that length of time just in case, right? Yeah.
And what we also are talking about, even though we look at earthquake, there's a lot of other emergencies that can happen in the community. So power outages, for example, or severe storm events where we can't get around. So these kits will not only help you in earthquake events or seismic events, but they'll also help you in other emergencies.
Other things that can happen now. Shakeout BC, well, it's not even only BC, because you told me it's worldwide, and like 16 million people participated, which is awesome. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
I can, and we were really very pleased, and it was endorsed by Mayor and Council, which was very exciting. They've been very, very supportive over the last few years, and the City of Nanaimo has done it since its inception. We do it along with basically the whole west coast of North America. Alaska's included, some of the mid-U.S. states, some of the east coast states, and basically it's an opportunity for people to either participate doing the drop, cover, and hold on.
That's,
which is the internationally accepted standards for protection, or to review their plans and to review their kits. So similar to smoke alarms, fall back, spring ahead. Check your kits, check your smoke detectors.
Make sure that everything is working properly.
Absolutely.
And now there's also Call Alert, which you can go online, because I did mine online.
Yes, the City of Nanaimo has for its residents an emergency call alert. So an event where there's the phone systems are working, we will do a mass call out to our residents, and we'll tell you about what the emergency is, some information, and where to listen for more.
Because we need to know that.
So we really encourage people. It's at Nanaimo.ca, and you click on the yellow triangle.
Okay, that's great. Now, can we get some more information from the Nanaimo website?
Absolutely.
City of Nanaimo website?
We have a whole section, Fire.Nanaimo.ca, that there's a whole section on emergency management that has lists of items that you can put in your kit, as well as helpful information on how you can prepare your family and loved ones for an emergency in our community.
Now, what kind of things would you put in there, like sleeping? Well, no, obviously not. But
well, it's basically your key essentials. It's food, shelter. It's your basic essentials to keep you going for minimum 3 days, but
3 days.
7 days. We really want to see 7.
Well, so hopefully we won't have to use anything like that.
Hopefully we won't.
And we'll all be prepared.
Exactly.
We'll all be prepared.
Exactly.
Thank you so much,
You're
Karen.
welcome.
Our time is up, unfortunately.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. And now we are going to go to the demo counter, and we're going to have some snacks.
All right, snacks indeed. Thank you very much, Anna. And finally, over the last couple months, all the hosts get to these amazing food and drink segments, and finally throw me into the fire. I'm here with Chef Jason Lloyd from VIU. Jason, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. And so basically we're going to talk about some of the stuff you do later on, as well as a chef, you're a culinary arts instructor, and a food stylist. Very neat stuff. But first we're going to talk to you about some special appetizers. Of course, it's Christmas time, holiday parties going on, and it's not just turkey and stuffing. So what are some of the things you have going on here today?
Well, for sure, we have, like we live on the West Coast, we have all this beautiful seafood we can use, especially products locally sourced, locally caught. I'm going to do a little bit of cured salmon using this Nikos product from St.Jean's Cannery. I've cured a little bit of wild sockeye salmon. Just going to sear it a little bit. So this is basically cured. You could eat it as is, but we're going to add just a little bit of a nice element of a nice, quick little sear on one side. That's just going to go in the pan like so. And it's going to be with a little bit of a salad here. Now I've used enoki mushrooms. I've got a little bit of green onions, some herbs, a little olive oil in my fancy little bottle here, and a little bit of your favorite vinegar. I've got a Banyuls vinegar.
Yeah, so when you say that the salmon is cured, so that's basically just in a vinegar brine that adds more flavor to it?
It is, yeah. For all intents and purposes, you could eat it as is. It's cooked in the vinegar and the salt and a little bit of sugar too. But in this case here, we've used, like I said, the Nikos marinade, which has done a really good job of curing it. It's just going to be a quick sear. So on that is a little bit of a nice salad here. Just going to go on a plate. Yeah, little herbs with your nice enoki mushrooms.
And just a mixture of greens, fresh salad greens.
Yeah, arugula, some nice fennel, dill,
arugula,
green
that's
onions.
what I say when I'm gargling after I brush my teeth.
That's it.
Arugula,
Yeah.
arugula.
Yeah.
Just spill a bit, but anyways, you're not spilling at all.
Nope,
So again,
it's
getting
good.
the salmon. So how's the salmon doing over here?
Salmon should be wonderful now. We got a nice little sear just on one side. What I want to have is just a little bit raw on one side, a little cured, and then a nice little sear on the other side. So I'm just going to flip it over, take a look and see how it looks, and just get right in there.
Beautiful. That's the thing too, right? So seafood, most seafood, most fish can be cooked sort of like medium rare.
Well, absolutely, especially our salmon we have here. It can be done nicely medium, just a little pink inside. Wonderful, good stuff that way. So yeah,
beautiful. So again, so really fast there. The mushrooms, the salad, the salmon on top.
Yep, and maybe a little bit of Espelette pepper, just nice little, nice warm smoky pepper on top would be very good.
Gorgeous.
That's it for there. So
all right, only a few minutes time. Now again, you've brought some other stuff here again. So some gourmet seafood from St. Jean's Cannery and Smokehouse, some other products. So yeah, let the good folks at home know what the rest of these appetizers are.
Just a little bit of a seared sockeye salmon here with some Nico marinade on the outside. We have their beautiful lox cold smoked tuna. Fabulous product, and I thought since we were also doing that kind of whiskey thing today too, beautiful with smoked tuna here with some Parmesan cheese and aged Gouda with a little bit of Serrano ham on top, and some of the nice Nico's sweet chili mustard dipping sauce here, beautiful. And I also have a little bit of the red pepper jelly with some goat cheese and on a nice little crisps there, fried up some little bread there as a crouton base. Wonderful stuff, yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. So I mean, looking at this stuff, I mean, at a base rate, it's seafood, it's lettuce, it's crackers, it's fish, but again, it's beautiful stuff. So when people go to throw something like this together, where should they source sort of ingredients like this? Are there specialty places you go to? Can you get it from your normal grocery store?
Directly from the Cannery, actually. They've got a retail shop right at the Cannery. It's great there. St. Jean's. Places like Thrifties have them as well. So I mean, they would have great stuff there. So if you don't have the ability to go out there in a boat and fish it yourself, I mean, that's a great opportunity to go do that for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So looking at, again, a presentation like this right now, it's going to move into the next question. And one of your job occupation titles is food stylist. What is a food stylist? What does it do? And how the heck did you get involved?
Well, it's just been something to fill my time since I've been back in Nanaimo now. It's been kind of fun. I've had some experience in the past. It's basically taking food that already looks good and making it photo ready. So and taking a little bit of time to make it nice and beautiful, and maybe a couple of little extra tweaks here and there, and just spending the extra time in putting the garnish exactly where it should be. Not necessarily like lacquering it or covering it with things like that, but actually making real food. But actually making it look like it should just pop in a photograph. So it's been good fun. Yeah, I really appreciate it.
I know there's a really explosion of food websites such as Food, Gawker, Tasteology, that people upload photos like this. So for anyone that wants to get into this, maybe just give them one quick tip on how to get a really good food photograph other than just a quick overhead shot with your digital camera.
Well, yeah, a good photographer really helps too, and also having really nice, colorful product and layers in there too. So having something that really pops in a photo is just really, really important. I mean, above and beyond just putting food flat on a plate, it should look appealing and have a good background too. So it's been good fun. I really had a good time doing this since I've been here. So
excellent. All right, we got to wrap the segment up now because I'm going to start eating here pretty fast. So again, Chef Jason Lloyd from Vancouver Island University.
Thank you very much.
Check out the Culinary website, vau.ca/culinary, and again, beautiful stuff that you can make for your Christmas party. So before we get into the next segment, which is going to involve some shaving, then we're going to talk to Ian Holmes as well. We're going to take for a bit of a break right now. You're watching the show right here on Shaw TV.
Dodd's Furniture and Mattress. Locally owned and operated since 1977. Now open in Nanaimo at 6241 Applecross Road, 250-390-1125, or on the web at doddsfurniture.com.
And now, back to the show, only on Shaw TV.
All right, and welcome back to the show right here on Shaw TV. And now you notice beside me, we do have our musical guest, Anatol McGinnis and Mike Sharratt, lacking a little bit of the beard hair they had earlier on. Gentlemen, what just happened?
I'm about halfway there. I still got some work to do, but I'll get that done before we perform.
Show that neck again. Show the neck to the camera. There we go. Good start.
Looking the fool, but it's for a good cause.
Exactly.
So.
Anatol, what about yourself?
Oh, I'm feeling great. Got some relief from this beard. They've been growing for the last month now.
Yeah, a little bit patchy there on the right cheek, but again,
a rough sketch, folks.
Yeah.
Well, a little more definition as time goes on.
And of course, we're all growing a facial hair here to celebrate, of course, Movember, an event that's created a couple years ago to sort of raise awareness for men's health by, of course, putting hair all over our faces. And with these two gentlemen as well here, I know that they've, if I may say so, both of you have lost your fathers to men's health issues past couple years, and so it's important, obviously, to raise awareness for that.
Cancer, anyways, yeah. Mine was it was lung cancer starting, and I think it's more important just to raise. Guys don't really want to go to the doctor. I went to the doctor last week, and it's not a fun, pleasant thing, especially for a dude to just go and sit in a room with it. You know, it's just not, and you know, guys, I can deal with it. But I think the main part of Movember is to ignore that part of your manhood that just says, I'll be fine, and maybe take a look.
All right, and it's all about yourself?
Yeah, same. I lost my dad to prostate cancer, actually, and I think it's good to be aware of cancer in any way, shape, or form, but if it's preventable, always get yourself checked, and that way you can at least attack it earlier.
Absolutely. So then there we go, and we're going from the beards down to the mustaches. Hopefully I get a chance to do so as well. So we'll have more from the guys here and interview some music in a bit, but now we're going to throw it over to Ian Holmes. Ian, over to you.
Hey, thanks so much, Matt. And today's discussion, Nanaimo's economy and how to strengthen it. I have in studio here the CEO of the Nanaimo Economic Development Corporation, Sasha Angus. And just to allow our viewers a little bit of background on NedCorp, as it's known. It was established just over a year ago to work on economic conditions, improving that, and also the tourism arm for the city. And so Sasha joins me here now. And Sasha, second month on the job, so you're still fairly new to the position. Just explain what you're trying to do now as you get your feet wet as the CEO of NedCorp.
Sure. No, and we really hit the ground running in the last month and a half. It's been fantastic. The response from the community at large has been great. And really what we're looking at doing is fostering a prosperous community through economic opportunity. And so there's a lot of moving parts right now. We've got a lot of great things on the go, and we're looking forward to getting our sleeves rolled up and getting down to work.
All right. Just explain a little bit about what that work is going to be. What are some of the priorities for NedCorp right now, Sasha?
Sure. And when you look at economic development, when you do it properly, it's always in partnership. And so we've been talking to folks like Chamber and Mystic and other partners in the community about how we deliver services, first and foremost to our small and medium-sized enterprises, our local businesses, how we can help them succeed, how we can help them grow. When you look at a community like ours, about 75% of our new investment comes from those businesses. And so if we can help establish new enterprises, if we can help our other companies grow into new markets, that's one of the fastest ways you get new job growth as well as new investment growth as well. And so we're spending a lot of time on how we help local businesses. Probably the most public face of economic development is investment attraction. And so we meet regularly with investors looking at making investments into Nanaimo, are either buying existing businesses or looking at establishing new ones. And then, as you mentioned, tourism as well. We've got an incredible tourism leadership committee that's doing great work around a 2 to 3 year strategic plan for tourism development in Nanaimo. So lots of great things and lots of good work to do.
Now, just to expand a little bit more on the strategic plan, there's been some calls. Actually, a director with NedCorp, Bernie Dumas, Bernie Dumas has mentioned in the past that, hey, inventory is a bit of an issue. There's not enough for people to do when they're visiting Nanaimo. Do you have a comment on that? What could that mean for Nanaimo in terms of tourist attractions moving ahead?
Well, the strategic plan is going to look at it from both ways, which is how do we market Nanaimo as a wonderful, authentic West Coast destination to have a wonderful tourism experience, and how do we work with our partners at a local level and provincially and federally to do that. And the other piece will be how do we establish new tourism experiences. And so one of the greatest things out of this whole process was we had about 110 different individual submissions to the strategic plan. That's by far and away more than anybody anticipated. There's a lot of great new opportunities that were sort of identified. And so we're going through that right now and saying, how do we work with local community champions to work on these projects to create new experiences so that people that may have been to Nanaimo 6 or 7 years ago and had a wonderful experience can come back again for new experiences as well.
And what are some of those ideas that have come forward? Is there anything that kind of like flashes light bulb in your mind, Sash, that you could tangibly see coming to Nanaimo tourism-wise?
One of the pieces that I think is a significant opportunity for us, we're a sporting community. We love our sports, and it's a wonderful opportunity for tourism as well. And so as we attract new sporting events to Nanaimo and as we develop the ones that we have, it's a wonderful opportunity for families to come into Nanaimo, see all that we have to offer. Half of the family goes off to the rink and maybe does the tournament. The other half can go out to malls, to local restaurants, to our other tourism opportunities. And they tend to stay Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. Having them in our community for 3 or 4 days is a wonderful stimulus for our local economy and a wonderful addition to our tourism opportunity as well.
City Council, the City of Nanaimo, doles out $1.4 million annually to the Nanaimo Economic Development Corporation to run. That's a significant amount of local taxpayer dollars. So
it is.
What kind of assurances do taxpayers know that, hey, I'm getting value for my dollar? What's the linkage there that we're getting a good deal here and that we're getting payback for our investment?
Sure. And we've got actually a wonderful governance model where City Council approves our budget on an annual basis. They appoint our board on an annual basis. And we've got a bunch of no-nonsense business people that are very much, very practical in how we do our business. So the staff and I are actually, as we speak, going through our business plan right now for 2013. There's a few things we're going to do as soon as we possibly can. But we're looking at what we're going to deliver, what are the different ways we're going to do it, and what are the metrics that we're going to not only hold ourselves accountable to, but what we can show to the public and say, here's what we're going to do. You can hold us against those standards and those metrics as we go through the year.
Things like tourism and also investment, there's that linkage with turbulent economic conditions, not only domestically in Canada, the United States, around the world, and that has a direct impact on affecting investment. So in your role, Sasha, how do you kind of roll with the punches that way and still try to position Nanaimo as a place to invest, as a place to tourists to come visit when there's going to be some obviously lean times? It ebbs and flows that way.
Yeah. No, and part of it is looking at where we're sending our products and services. So for a lot of our local companies, we're asking them, are you exporting into the United States? Are you looking at other opportunities? We have a series of programs, including our peer mentoring roundtable for exporters, to show them how to do better business outside of the borders in Nanaimo and typically outside the borders of Canada. And that's one of the fastest ways we can, again, stimulate economic growth, which is helping our local businesses enter new markets. It requires new employment here locally to service those new customers. It also requires new investment in our community. And so we're looking at how we support our local businesses in going international. We're looking at a bunch of facets around what new industries are there, like sport tourism, and how do we develop that opportunity, as well as green industry as well. The community has a wonderful opportunity around environmental technologies and environmental services that we think will bode well for the community in the next 5-10 years.
We were talking earlier, Sasha, and you said something that really piqued my interest in your former work with helping out with the Victoria Chamber of Commerce and that role in Victoria, and just some of the assets that Nanaimo has in terms of housing, which is very favorable as opposed to Victoria. Just elaborate a little bit on that and how, in terms, Nanaimo is pretty well positioned that way to house a workforce, and that could really be an asset for Nanaimo moving ahead.
Absolutely, and so we've got a lot of pieces of our economic puzzle that are really attractive to a lot of different companies, and so our transportation linkages are excellent. Our workforce housing is great as well. When you look at the Lower Mainland in Victoria, you're looking at a $900,000 house. It's very hard to attract the type of talent you need from anywhere else in Canada virtually to come to Victoria in other markets where the housing cost is so high. We don't have that problem, and so it's an opportunity for us to attract new business to the region where we have great transportation linkages, we've got a great business environment, and we've got a great workforce housing environment, as well as the quality of life and quality of opportunity that we all enjoy.
Perfect. And quickly before I let you go, Sasha, when can we expect this business plan that you guys are working on? When should that be rolled out?
The board will be approving it shortly, and as soon as we are, we'll be sending out to the public and making sure that we get great comment and great feedback from our partners that we want to do the business plan with as well.
Excellent stuff. Sasha, thanks a lot for coming on the program. Kind of a broad little touch on what NedCorp is up to, and hopefully have you on a future episode to talk a little bit more and provide an update to our viewers.
I'd love that. That'd be great.
Excellent stuff. There's Sasha Angus, the CEO of the Nanaimo Economic Development Corporation. And now we'll send things over to Matt and Anatol, an interview with Mike as well in there, and learn a little bit more about Mike and Anatol.
All right, thank you very much, Ian. Thank you very much, Sasha, as well. Yes, back here with our Movember crew and looking a little more cleanly shorn. Mike, a little word on the mustache you got going on now from the beard you had earlier.
I didn't think I needed a shower until I looked myself in the mirror.
Very
that
greasy.
deodorant isn't strong enough.
Very greasy. And Anatol again, pulling it on his Harley Davidson, obviously.
Love the mustache. It's quite fetching right now.
Nice and good stuff. All right, so now let's talk about the music side of things. Mike, great singer-songwriter from here in Nanaimo. You've had a big year, and you just, as well, doing a trip to Europe and some dates in Ireland. Tell us about that.
How do you know about that? Were you there?
Maybe I was.
We went across the pond there and we played some gigs, didn't we? It was a lot of fun. I got to record with some heroes of mine and some of the records I've been listening to in the last couple of years, and yeah, it was amazing.
So I hear of yours, one in particular named Gavin Glass. For any listeners who may not be familiar with his music, what can you tell us about him?
He's a guitar player for Lisa Hannigan's band, and he's a really good solo artist as well. And then I got to play with Tom Osander and Shane Fitzsimmons, who it was kind of cool. I came back and I was watching a documentary of Herbie Hancock, and I watched those guys on the screen, and I was like, oh, a week ago I was playing with them, and now I'm watching them play with Herbie Hancock. So it was a pretty trippy experience for me. It was neat.
Very cool, yeah. So to play with guys like that and again to record with Gavin, you mentioned that earlier that you've done a couple songs. So when will the listeners be able to hear those songs come to the light of day?
That's an excellent question. Hopefully in the spring.
And what kind of tunes are they? Was there anything different from recording or writing songs in Ireland at all compared to back home?
I find that I write everything in 6/8 when I'm in Ireland. But other than that, I mean, we have world-class musicians here, and that trip really solidified how I feel about local talent, because I was playing with those guys, and I mean, here's Anatol McGinnis. Been playing with me for 5 years now, and he's every bit the bass player that this gentleman Shane is, that's playing with Herbie Hancock and Lisa Hannigan, Damien Rice, all these #1 records, and he stands up, more than stands up.
Well, so. Very good. So with that in mind, let's turn it over to Anatol then. Yes, heady praise from Mr. Mike Sharratt. Yes. Pressure's on. Yeah, so I know you are sort of one of the most diverse and busy musicians in Nanaimo, most often on the bass guitar. We'll talk about the violin in a second. Yeah. But quickly, off the top of your head, name 5 bands you played with in Nanaimo in 2012.
All right, 2012, Cannery carrying the Terminal Band-Aids, Dope Soda, Mike Sharratt, Hub City Hooligans, we share Meat with Salugi. I think we've reached 5 there.
Absolutely, yeah. So what is it about your love of the bass and love of the music that keeps you pushing through, keeps grabbing on new projects?
I love music, and I'm passionate about music, and I guess it's constant opportunity to learn about music and learn about new music, and the opportunity to learn from all these different people that I've an opportunity to play with. So it's wonderful to get out there and keep it alive as an art form. I think it's very important. It brings a lot of joy to me to be able to get up there on stage or even off stage and play with people and create.
And to play with a lot of people and to play a lot of bands, obviously Nanaimo, you'd say, is a very strong music scene.
Oh yeah, an incredible music scene. And so much diverse talent. It's wonderful. Exactly. It's hard not to be ashamed not to miss out on all these people to play with.
For sure. Right, we talked about the bass, which you played in the first song. Now you've got a violin.
Yes.
That was actually your first
This is my first instrument, yes.
And why the violin? When most kids are picking up the guitar.
It inspired me to play the violin. Actually, I recall playing somebody's violin in daycare. And that was, it seemed like a more feasible choice to ask my parents as opposed to asking for the drums or the guitar at the time. So.
Perfect. All right, so with that in mind, we're going to feature the violin and the guitar on a song that you wrote in Ireland.
Yeah, and we're going to be playing this song at the Vancouver Island University Theatre on December 1st. And that show is pretty cool because it's the first full band show I'll be playing in months. And you can get tickets at Lucky's Liquor Store, which is a great sponsorship by them. Thank you, Lucky's. And Delicados, VIU, you can get them at the student pub and at dopesoda.com, excuse me. And yeah, hopefully you can see this performed live.
Awesome. All right, let's wrap it up again. For more information, check it out. MikeSharratt.com is the website, and here's a song again, written and recorded in Ireland, Across the Sea. Mike Sharratt.
I set out for Nova Scotia. I built up the hope that I might hold you. And there you were, somewhere across the sea, patiently waiting. I placed my ship upon the ocean. I was dividing desire into devotion. And there you were, northern star in my sky. Heavens tried to open up are pulled in to your harbor. I ran my sea legs off wherever you were. Oh, and there you are. It's just a picture in a frame. Numbers and a name. Well, I am too late.
Across the Sea, that sounds to me like a really great Irish tune, and it's almost something like working on computers that I don't know a lot about, and I don't know a lot about that sax either, Matt, but that sounded really, really good. Today, I would like to welcome a young lady who has a degree in computer science and has been teaching computerism for almost 20 years from grade 7 to university. Please welcome Christina Young. Welcome, Christina. Glad to have you on the show.
Thank you.
And Christina works at the Nanaimo Disability Resource Centre, and she's going to tell us all about what she does. Christina?
Well, our center has lots of programs for, our center has many programs for all people with disabilities. The program I'm involved in is our computer school. So we teach any adults with a disability how to use computers, cell phones, any kind of technology.
And it sort of starts off with basic kind of computer knowledge. Mm-hmm. And where does that lead to?
So we can do pretty much anything that a person needs to enhance their current life. So we can help them access family that's far away. We can help them develop job skills. We tailor it to the individual's needs.
So, and then after the basic computers, then people can move on into a one-on-one program, mm-hmm. Can they?
We have a one-on-one program. We have a program specifically for people who are blind or have low vision. We have another program specifically for people who can't get into our center. So we'll have a volunteer come out right to your home and teach you on your own machine.
And speaking about volunteers, I know that you're really desperate for volunteers now. What does a volunteer have to do if they come to work with you?
A volunteer, they just have to like people and be nice and calm and relaxed, and we benefit if you knew a little bit about computers, sending emails, attachments, getting around on the internet. The more you know, the better, but very basic knowledge is required to volunteer and help out.
So you would learn as well then if you're a volunteer, like me as an example, who as we talked before, mm-hmm. I retyped 20 pages and you're saying, you really didn't have to do that, Bob. You could have done it easier. Yes. So that you would teach me how to do that, would you? If I was a volunteer, yes. Working with one of your people?
All the volunteers learn as they go. I learn something new every day from the students. You don't have to know everything or be an expert in order to help out and volunteer and be very useful.
Wow. So obviously it's more to your program than just those little signature things that I see in people's cars that are handicapped. It goes on and on and on from there.
Yes.
So where do we go then from the blind and low vision? And you've got a special program, I think, or special computer software, hardware, have you, that deals with that?
The Blind and Low Vision program, we have special hardware that people can use, come in, try out before you buy it. We have software you can try. We also have blind and low vision trainers themselves that will work one-on-one with students. to help, whether it's for GPS systems, cell phones, readers, anything in the technology world.
You're getting over my head, way over my head already. You know, with Twitter and Facebook and all those things coming now, is that something that these people would pick up as well?
Oh yeah, we do that every day in class.
Wow.
Job searching, office skills.
Christina, you are without a doubt a ray of sunshine in so many people's lives, teaching them how to communicate and interact with other people via the computer, sending emails. I can't believe how successful you'll be, and I'm sure we'll get lots of emails coming your way. The website is up there for people to look at. So good luck to you in your future. Thank you very much. And now I think she's going to have some more whiskey and stuff mixed up today, boy. Woohoo! We're going to have a party. Over to you, Anna.
Thank you, Bob. Yes, we are going to have a party, and welcome back. I'm here with Susie from the Grand Hotel, and I'm going to call her my whiskey guru because she has taught me something amazing about how to actually drink your whiskey.
Yes.
So, can you explain to our audience what we do?
Sure.
I was savor the flavor.
Yes. Typically, I like to smell it while it's cold in the glass when you first get it. So go ahead. Mm-hmm. And then you pick up certain aromas, and then afterwards just slip your fingers, which is why I like these style glasses versus the other types that are out there right now, the stubby
like
ones
the
or the Glencairns.
Right,
or this one's good because it gives you some space. Put your hand under it, and then with your other hand completely cup over it, and then snuggle it up to your chest. And what you're
snuggling, I like that,
by the fire, while you're looking at your Christmas tree. And anyways, what you're doing is you're just heating the profile of the whiskey just enough that it's going to bring out the aromas and the flavors.
Too, right?
So we're just going to do it for we're just going to hold on to it till you start to get a little bit of body heat and condensation around the perimeter of the glass. And so while we do that, we're going to walk through some of these other ones.
And the wine that
we're sampling is the Spice Tree, and this is a whiskey, a Highland whiskey, and it's this one comes from the same people that make the Peat Monster. This has no peat whatsoever, so I know a lot of people are quite familiar with Peat Monster. So Spice Tree is a little bit more of a specialty item, not readily available everywhere, definitely at the Grand. One of our favorites to start with. And you'll pick up cardamom and cloves and ginger. It's quite nice, quite oily.
Very festive for the holiday
It's perfect
season.
for the holidays,
Excellent.
yeah. So we'll move from that one. This one's a new one that's just been released. It's quite a peaty whiskey, smoky whiskey, and it's a Glenlivet release. It's a Speyside whiskey. So this one has just come out in limited batches. These two over here, the Kilchoman and Kilchoman.
Now, where is that from?
This is an Islay whiskey. So typically the Islay is the area off of Scotland on the left, and they are known for their peat and their smoke. And so the smallest distilleries in the world would be Kilchoman and the Edredor people as well. And this one also just been released last week, very limited batches. They only make 100,000 liters.
That's it?
A year.
Oh, it's precious.
So very precious, very peaty, lots of smoke and peat and all the typical aromas. Again, Edredor too. I know I think you're there.
Look at that.
You are. I think you're ready to go.
Should I give it a little
Sure.
try?
No, don't even do that. Now just smell it the way it is.
Okay.
And you'll have.
And have a little sip.
Now take your first sip. That first sip's just going to wash your palate. And when you take your second sip, don't even think about the first one. The second sip, it'll start to tell you a story. Matt, would you like some?
It's telling me that I'm very, very happy.
I would. I just wondered who brought all the contents of my kitchen cupboard here on the shot.
That is delicious. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
What a treat.
Here you go, Matt. Cheers.
And that one's warmed up,
Nice
too.
and warm and ready to go.
Right. I love it. And
so I don't know how much more, if we
great.
have any more time at all, but I'll quickly just tell you one more little snippet. The Octomore, these are Brook Lotties, again from the Islay area. All of these two are both Brook Lottie, very limited release. The peatiest, smokiest whiskey in the world is the Octomore, and the PC9, Port Charlotte 9, is also it was a very difficult one to get available also at the Grand. So
Well,
there you
that's
go.
great. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Oh,
So yes, thank you so much, Susie, for being here. And thank you so much, Anna, for hooking this up. A very segment I love, that's for sure. All right, I mean, there's so much holiday cheer here. I mean, you also get some holiday beer. No wine, ning about that, if you know what I mean, for goodness sake. Anyways, so let me begin by pointing out that drinking while boating is real whiskey business. You can't really fix a mistake with Scotch tape, such as when you're bourbon into port and you rum aground, and then suddenly your boat goes, schnaps! I got one laugh, all right. Thanks very much. I got two laughs. All right. By the way, you should not be bitter, but you should have paid attention to that dram buoy. All right, I got 3 boos. Unbelievable, and even the musicians are. All right, so it's too early to miss you a sherry Christmas, but I do want to start the holidays now, which is very cool because after all, absinthe makes the heart grow fonder. All right, 3 boos. All right. Let's quickly move on. Thank you first to all of our guests, even the cameraman's growling at that one. Thanks very much to all of our guests, all of our hardworking volunteers and staff in front of the cameras and behind the scenes. You can find Shaw TV on Facebook and Twitter, and check out previous episodes of the show on YouTube. So as we send it out, let's have one more song from Mike Sharratt, who you can find Wednesday evenings at Fibber McGee's, and Anatol McGinnis, who you can find Wednesday evenings down at the Canby. This song is called Hit and Run. Cheers, and thank you so much for watching the show right here on Shaw TV.
Shining white tonight. Could you blame it on me? You said you've gotta go, but you're taking your time. Please, won't you blame it on me? Yeah, come on. Don't battle with their bad advice. Baby, stay as long as you like. Hey, alright. Don't make me sleep outside tonight. Counting the stars to your eyes. Baby, stay in the clarity of passion. In the words you don't say, but you mean to. Baby, stay.
Dodd's Furniture's The Show is brought to you by Dodd's Furniture and Mattress.